And we are live on time today. A rarity, I know. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live Q&A here on the Film Stock channel. It is Wednesday, March 5th, 6 p.m. Eastern on the dot. Not 6:01, 6:02, 6:03, 6 p.m. on the dot. I love it. But hope everyone's doing well, having a good week thus far. I'm here for another live Q&A. That means, fire off your questions in the chat if you're here live or on the replay. Let's talk movies, Daredevil, Born Again, the Oscars, food, theme parks, life, whatever it may be. Fire off your questions here in the chat. I will get to as many of them as I can, but I'm letting you know right now, there is 0% chance I will get to every single question in this chat. So if you want to guarantee that I get to your question, comment, concern, super chat is the way to go. But I see we got some folks piling in. Welcome, welcome. I am a little under the weather today, so if I sound stuffy, I am stuffy. My nose has been acting a fool lately. I think that it's the allergy season rapidly approaching, mixed with my body just going into like some shutdown mode. I don't know what's going on, but we're pushing through. So that's why there haven't been as many videos this week, to be honest with you. But that's life. Sometimes you just feel a little under the weather, and that's okay. So we're keeping on, but no, welcome in everybody. Again, if you're here on the replay, I know a lot of you guys catch this the day after because of time zones, or you're in school right now, or you're asleep, you're across the world, it's the middle of the night. So if you're here on the replay, I love it when you guys let me know on the replay if you comment that you're checking it out after the fact. So yeah, fire off your questions now. I'll get to as many as I can. And again, super chat is the way to go to guarantee that I get to your question, comment, or concern. It's a huge way to help support the channel. But let's start with a water break. Why not? Water break. There we go. All right, let's do this thing. Let's do this damn thing. Emily with the first question of the stream. Are you going to watch Warfare when it comes out? I believe I will. This is the A24 war film that's like directed by, who's directed by? Not Alex Garland, or is it Alex Garland? But it's also like co-directed by an actual veteran. Joseph Quinn's in it. Couple of other big names, Charles Melton, I want to say. So interesting. It's like a war film, but it's supposed to be like one of the most authentic, realistic, that like puts you in the shoes of veterans, essentially. So or people who like live through this. So yeah, it looks fascinating for sure. I don't know if the movie will be any good or not, but the trailer sold me. And it's funny you mentioned that. Family friend texted me, was like, "This movie looks awesome." This was months ago when the trailer dropped, and I was like, "Yeah, it does look pretty sick." We got JJ in the house. Shout out JJ. Let's see. Sniper says, did you think about Invincible Season 3 to make it easier to destroy things at the Rage Room? So if you're wondering what this is referring to, I went to a Rage Room through Disney. It was for Daredevil Born Again. It was like promotion. And my throat's going to be, I'm going to sound a little raspy this stream. Apologies. But yeah, that's funny. Invincible Season 3, for those who don't know, it's been a roller coaster for me. And right now, it's pretty low. They're really hyping up this episode tomorrow, and I just have a gut feeling it's not going to be what everyone's saying. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm going in open-minded, obviously, but this season has maybe been my least favorite of the three so far. We got Jack in the house. Shout out, Jack. Hosting pop culture trivia during the stream. Oh, shoot. Go off. Which of the following has not starred in a billion-dollar movie? Christian Bale, Chris Pratt, Brad Pitt, or Daniel Craig? Honestly, I'm going to say Brad Pitt, because Bale's got The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises. Pratt has Infinity War, Endgame, and Daniel Craig has technically... No, wait, hold on. Let me take that back. That's actually really tough. None of the Bond movies have done a billion. No, they have. Skyfall did a billion, did it not? I think it did. I don't know. Really good question, though. Jack's the man. We got Tobin Bell in the house and the Craving. That's how you know this is a real stream. Hunter, Benjamin, Zach, Emily again, Jonathan, Sniper saying when the next Patreon stream should be in the coming week or two, I would hope. I'll give you guys an update on that soon. Super Angelo Edit says, hi, Chris, what's your top 3 Cobra Kai characters? I would say in no order. My top 3 personal favorites, Johnny, Miguel, that's clear 1 and 2, if I'm being honest. And then a 3 really ruffles feathers when I say it, but it's my personal opinion, Sam LaRusso. I will go to war for Sam LaRusso, and I don't care. Never will understand the overwhelming amounts of hate and just like horrid things thrown at that character, but also Mary Mauser. It's astounding to me, honestly, seeing all that after the fact. Because again, I didn't watch Cobra Kai from the jump, and so just seeing all that, I'm like, wow, this is harsh. So I never understood that the bashing of Sam LaRusso. I've always been a Sam defender. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have seen Invincible. I'm watching it as we speak. The new episode drops tomorrow, the 7th episode. What song were you glazing in Born Again? I can't say. So many people have asked since I said in my review, there's a needle drop that I love, and I can't say what it is, but it did something to me. Hot take. Finding Nemo is my favorite Pixar movie. Jake says that. I don't know if that's a hot take because I think a lot of people have that. Like, it's a universally loved Pixar movie. It's in most people's top 10, if not top 5. And so I don't think that's a hot take, honestly. I really like that movie. I've said in recent Pixar rankings, like, it's probably a perfect movie. I just have watched it so many times in my life, like at a young age too. Like, it was the movie we got to watch when we celebrated in school. Like, if we got a movie day, it was Finding Nemo. If there was some sort of like, any sort of extracurricular movie event, like a movie night or school, likely Finding Nemo at that time. And so I'd seen it so many times that I almost burnt out on it for a long time. But I do think the next time I rewatch it, I'll appreciate it even more just because I'm a lot older now. And so I think I could have a fresher perspective. But no, that movie's great. And honestly, it's probably a 5 out of 5. I think the last time I watched it, I was like, I'll give this a 4 or 4.5, but it's a 5 out of 5 movie. The score too, I believe Thomas Newman composed the film. And I have a playlist, 2 playlists for Pixar on my Spotify. One of them is like my curated, handpicked like every single Pixar track I added. And then I follow another playlist that's like Pixar tunes or something. It has like the scores from every Pixar movie. So yeah, Pixar music's awesome, especially if you need like a pick-me-up. Pixar, the move. Welcome in for those of you joining. Hit that like button. It's free. It's the easiest way to support the stream. And if you want to guarantee I get to your question, comment, or concern, super chat is the way to go. Speaking of, we've got our first super chat from Dylan Miller saying, "Sup, dude, long time no talk. Welcome in. Good to see you here. Always good to see you in here, Dylan. Thank you for the super chat." Water break. Sorry, I'm feeling a little under the weather on the stream. Thoughts on Andor winning Best Picture? Haven't seen the film yet, so I have no thoughts. But good for Andor. When not only that, I was looking. I believe it won 4 of the 5. Like, how there's the big 5 Oscars. It's actor, actress, director, picture, screenplay. I think it won 4 of those 5. The only one it didn't win was lead actor. So pretty crazy. Zara or Devin? Are we asking who would win in a fight or who the better character is? I think that Devin Lee is the better character. I think Zara would win in a fight, unfortunately. Can I rank all of the Cobra Kai season 6 episodes? Not a bad idea, but I don't know. I mean, it'd be tough because a lot of them are just so on par with each other from like part 1 and 2. So it'd be, we'll see. Maybe. Okay. Hey, Chris, this is from Carson. Since you've seen all of Daredevil Born Again, is the finale underwhelming like the other Disney Plus shows? What's your favorite episode? I don't want to say too much, but the finale is my favorite episode. And so, no, I don't think it's underwhelming. So I answered both without saying too much there. No, the finale landed perfectly for me. It was a 10 out of 10 episode for me personally me. I don't know. I haven't really been online. I'm trying to really stay away from like general discussions on movies and shows like that. I like just because it's so toxic and not good to just scroll. Like when I'm not filming, editing, posting, if I'm not having a conversation with someone about like, with a friend about a movie or show, just to go like into the void of Twitter and scroll and see just like hatred and everyone like going to battle over every single trailer and movie. It's not healthy mentally. It isn't. And so to be constantly absorbed in all that. And so I've tried to step back a little, but it is hard to see it all, for every single thing that comes out. It's tiring at a certain point. I'm starting to tire out on it, at least like reading every opinion on every single thing. It's just, there's no value in that. And so I'm trying to avoid it, but I have seen, I think someone called Born Again slop, but it's like, oh, it's good slop though. I don't even know what that really means. And it's extremely, that comment is just condescending to me. And I don't know. I see things like that all the time on Twitter. Okay. Kill Murray or Erica. I think this is what this is meant to say. Murray, I don't want Erica to die. She's like one of the youngest main characters on Stranger Things. Could you imagine? That would be the wildest thing they could maybe do. Am I excited for the Snow White movie? Sort of, mainly because I know they're doing some new music and I'm a musical guy. And so, if I can have some new songs to listen to in the car with Rachel Zegler's vocals, like sign me up. Wild Uncharted Waters from the live action Little Mermaid, that's a banger. And so if we get something like that, hell yeah. I'm on the fence about the movie really. Like I don't think it's going to stink, but I don't think it's going to be amazing. I think maybe it could be like a middle of the road Disney remake, but if it does something new, that's actually for the better in this case, because I don't want to copy and paste, especially if Snow White. It's a very outdated film. Like it's almost 100 years old, and it's paced like a movie that's almost 100 years old. I'll say that much. Gavin, shout out Gavin, always asking some banger questions. Hey Chris, what's your favorite version of True Grit? So I grew up watching both technically. I guess I watched, the John Wayne version way back in the day. Like I was probably 8 years old watching that movie. And then I watched the new one in theaters. I saw it with my dad, the Coen Brothers movie with, Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, Haley Steinfeld got an Oscar nom for that one. I think, I think the better movie is probably the new True Grit. But I have more fond memories of watching the original True Grit. Very good Westerns. And honestly, I need to own both of those. Like that's a forgotten movie. If I'm talking about movies like that I watched growing up, both those, I was so pumped to go see the new True Grit. And that was one of the first like movie going experiences I actually remember going with my dad to see it. It was awesome. So yeah, True Grit, one of the staple Westerns, I would say. We got Starcourt in the chat, the best mod in town. Again, if I sound under the weather, it's because I kind of am, to be frank. If you guys are joining here, I know we got some more faces in here. Hit that like button, helps out a lot. Takes 2 seconds. Real easy way to support the stream. And if you want to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern, super chat is the way to go. Ben the Gem says, any thoughts on the Fear Street trilogy? I have not watched it, but for those who have subscribed to the channel for a couple of years, you'll know I always bring it up around spooky season, and I'm always like, this is on my watch list, and I plan to watch it this year, and I just haven't got around to it. I never do, because I'm like, oh, do I want to react to it, or do I want to just watch it? And that's an internal battle I have with Fear Street. So this will be the year, because we're getting a new Fear Street in May, I believe, the Fear Street Prom Queen. And so I intend to watch the trilogy before, but there's no guarantees in this world. Okay. Let's see. I did watch this Andor special look. I watched it actually about 30 minutes ago. I watched it on my phone while I was eating some dinner. Yeah, this got me hyped. It got me more hyped than the trailer as well. I'll agree. I'm ready, very ready for the new season of Andor. It drops next month. April sneaky loaded for television. In fact, I would say thus far, TV has won the year over movies for me. Having seen Daredevil, having seen Cobra Kai, having hopped on the Severance train, like Your Friendly Neighbor Spider-Man. Honestly, of the shows I've watched, the one that everyone is raving the most about, Invincible, is probably not even probably. It is my least favorite show that I've watched this year, Invincible season 3, and it's not really close, particularly. So, yeah, I'm pumped for Andor. We're getting The Last of Us season 2 in April. We're also getting You season 5 in April. So we're getting to eat good for TV in the month of April. Main Gamer says, hey, Chris, hope all is well. Just wondering, are you going to see Mickey 17 this weekend? And have I seen Parasite before? I have seen Parasite. I saw Parasite in theaters, actually, with a buddy of mine, Andy, back in 2019. I think it was November of 2019 we went. And I own the film on Blu-ray. I've seen it once or twice on Blu-ray. But no, it deserved to win Best Picture. I mean, that was a year where I was rooting for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but there were a lot of other movies that I would have been okay with winning. Yeah, Parasite's a very well-made movie. It's honestly damn good screenwriting, because if you don't know anything about the movie, something happens midway through that completely flips the script for the better. And it caught me off guard in a good way. In terms of Mickey 17, I'm so indecisive about if I want to see this one or not. I'm actually considering going tomorrow. I couldn't make it to the early screening, but there's a showing at a theater at 3:00 tomorrow. And so I'm considering going to that, and we'll see. I genuinely don't know. I can't decide. I'm very indecisive about things like that. But if I were to see Mickey 17, I would not review it. I would probably just put my thoughts on Letterboxd. It wouldn't be like a video review situation. I would just go see it and share my thoughts on Letterboxd, which, yeah. So I mean, if you're not following me over there, I think you are. I think a lot of you guys here on stream are, but that'd be the place to be to see if I'm going to watch or not. I'm actually continuing my Spielberg journey tonight. For those who are wondering, I watched half The Color Purple last night. I'm going to finish it tonight. So, yeah, we're on it. Favorite season of Stranger Things from Quinn's World? I go season 3 right now. The most recent rewatch really solidified that for me. I was always like season 4, season 3. It's an internal battle. Season 1, you could certainly argue. But in terms of pure favorite, the summer vibes of season 3 are just unmatched to me. Completely unmatched. Carissa with the super chat. Thank you, Carissa. Overall thoughts on the Oscars? I missed them. Fairly straightforward ceremony that was a bit bland in my opinion. Wasn't as entertaining as past years. I also didn't care as much about the nominees this year, like the movies or even the actor, like the performances. I didn't do as much homework, so I didn't feel as much. Like the 2023, I guess, that took place in 2024 Oscars, 96th Academy Awards, I want to say. Those I was like all in on because I was rooting for Oppenheimer. Like I felt like I had a dog in the fight, but none of the movies that were really nominated, like I didn't care that much this year. And that's kind of how it is. Like every few years I'll get really into it. I try to watch every year, but a lot of times I'm there. I'm on my phone half the time, but it wasn't terrible. Conan did a good job hosting for sure. But yeah, I don't think you missed too much, to be honest with you. I don't think you missed too much. If you follow Discussing Film on Twitter, or some account on Twitter that, pumps out all that news, you didn't miss anything. Silver says, hello, Chris. Thoughts on Kieran Culkin winning the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor? Roman won an award, LOL. Yeah. Well deserved in my opinion. I know that there's like a train of people who are like, oh, Kieran Culkin's just doing the same thing, but he's damn good at it. And I think it worked. Yeah, I was happy he won the Oscar. I didn't see The Apprentice, so I can't speak to Jeremy Strong's performance, but I was happy to see Kieran Culkin win. I watched A Real Pain last year. I think it was a deserved win, honestly. Let's see. Daredevil Born Again or Cobra Kai Part 3? A good question. I believe that's so difficult because we're asking, 5 episodes of a 15-episode show versus a full season of TV. But even if I were factoring in the entire season of Cobra Kai, I think Daredevil Born Again is the better season of TV, personally. You guys know I love the end of Cobra Kai, but in my season ranking, I had season 6 4th, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And so, yeah, I think Daredevil Born Again is the better season. But I was more excited for Daredevil. Cobra Kai never dies, obviously. But, yeah, I think Daredevil Born Again was the better season. I mean, I haven't been able to stop thinking about certain moments. And that's all I can really say right now. Oh, man. Water break, please. Let's do that. Quite good. Quite refreshing. Okay. Let's do a little speed round in the chat. And by the way, super chat's the way to go to guarantee again that I can get to your question, comment, concerns. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm feeling a bit under the weather this week. I had scratchy throat, all of it. It's just not a good feeling. I'm all caught up on Severance. Yes, I will be watching the new episode later this week. All right. Who would do a better job at directing Lord of the Rings, Nolan or Villeneuve? I feel like these two are always getting pit against each other. I would say that's a really damn difficult question. I think Nolan has more experience with the epic filmmaking, which I know Denis done Dune 1 and 2, but I just think, looking at Denis' career, I lean Nolan. I lean Nolan there. I think, I would just lean Nolan there. Personally, personal preference. Let's see. Avengers Doomsday is looking so peak, someone's Elite Hunter says. Yeah, I saw the concept art. I know a lot of you guys probably did as well. It was all over the place. You couldn't really miss it. And if a lot of those things and concepts and ideas actually come to fruition in the movie, we could have a lot to be excited about, which is thrilling. It's really thrilling. Thoughts on Bullseye? Menace, always has been. And just, cold-hearted, really. Messed up character, but that's what makes him so interesting to me is the, mental battle that character constantly has that we see in season 3, that we see in Born Again. It's really interesting stuff. All right, let's do a speed round. You guys ready? Let's do it. Nick M says, are you a Shrek fan? Any thoughts on the new look of the character? I have only seen the first 2 Shrek movies, and I don't really care that much about the Shrek redesign. I don't think it looks all that truly. It doesn't. I think the classic design from the first 2 films looks better, But I don't think this is a Sonic situation. I'm also not, I don't care that much because I'm not a huge Shrek fan. I think the first two movies are really good, but I'm not like, I haven't seen Shrek 3, 4, the Puss in Boots movies. So, yeah, I think they're, you know, the movie's not coming out until the end of 2026. So there's a long way to go. They probably just wanted to throw something together to announce Zendaya, but it's not the best character design, but it's also not like, to me, it's not a Sonic 3. I'll say that personally. Very excited for Thunderbolts. Very, very excited. It's coming up in about 2 months now. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Favorite Black Eyed Peas song? What was that one called back in the day? I Got a Feeling. That one. We got a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. What do you think will be the best comic book project this year when all is said and done? Phenomenal question. So let's run it down. You got Superman and DC from DC movies. From Marvel movies, you've got Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. In the world of shows, from Marvel, you have Daredevil, Born Again, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man are already out. You've got, I think, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, no. Wonder Man, no, but I think it could be solid. Ironheart, no. Process of elimination here. I liked Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man a really good bit. Having seen all of Daredevil, I take Daredevil over it. So in terms of Marvel shows, Daredevil is in the conversation. In terms of movies, it's probably not Brave New World. So Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, that one. I'll say for the sake of this argument, I'll go Fantastic Four and then Superman. And then what DC shows? You got Peacemaker. Is that really it? So 4 projects is what we're battling for. Look, I think shows and movies vastly different, obviously, but I don't know. I am very hopeful for all the projects I just listed, but again, having seen Daredevil to completion, I mean, maybe it could just be like I'm riding a wave. I'm very hyped right now, but I think that's going to be the thing to beat. That's going to be the thing to beat for me. Yeah. So we'll see. I have faith in the next 2 MCU movies, obviously Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, but to me right now, Born Again's the thing to beat. I want everything from the comic book genre to be fantastic. I think it's better when everything is good because it's less toxic and it's just, I don't want to watch bad comic book movies. I don't think anyone does, but yeah, I think Daredevil's the thing to beat right now. That's what I'll say. So it's that's the expectation, that quality or higher. And, we just got to see if these projects deliver or not. So when it's all said and done, I'll give you a movie and a show. I think it's going to be Daredevil pretty comfortably. I think Peacemaker season 2 could give it a run for its money, but Daredevil is going to be the best comic book show of the year, I'd say. And for movies, that's a lot tougher. The biggest question mark is Superman, which I'm hopeful for. I think it's a coin toss between. It could be Thunderbolts too. It's tough. Gun to my head, I think I would probably say Fantastic Four, but we'll have to see. Great question, though. Appreciate the super chat. Okay. Let's get back to the chat. Have I seen Hard Eyes? I have. I have a review on my Letterboxd. A quick little blurb. Thoughts on the new Lilo and Stitch? Zoe asks, we need a trailer. What are they doing? I think the marketing's been really clever, but it's been almost a month since the Super Bowl, which is crazy to say out loud. And they were like, oh, we're getting a trailer at the Super Bowl. In reality, all we got was a little snippet commercial of him of Stitch running on the field. And so we don't have any trailer for this movie that comes out in 2 months. May 23rd. No trailer. That's rare. It's alarming to me, but they got to drop it this week or next week. You think you got to get that out there. So I'm excited, kind of. Lilo and Stitch was never one of my absolute favorite animated movies, but the redesign, the live action CGI character looks cute. I think they've done a clever job marketing so far, but you got to sell us with a real legit teaser trailer, full trailer at this point, frankly. They're probably just going to do the one full trailer route. And so let's get on it. That's my thoughts, honestly, Zoe. What do I think of Karate Kid Legends from Roar? I was talking about this the other day. I'm very skeptical. I have a bad feeling about this movie because the Cobra Kai creators are not associated with it. And to me, it kind of comes off as a desperation play by Sony to capitalize on, this combination of the multiple generations of Karate Kid when that's what Cobra Kai did successfully for 6 seasons. you introduce this whole new group of characters with the old, legacy characters. I don't understand the route they're taking here, trying to do a sort of a No Way Home thing. Oh, Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, yeah. Who's really asking for this? I don't know. I'm very skeptical about that movie, and I will probably be doubting it until it proves me wrong or doesn't. So, we'll see. Kevin's bedwetter cousin finally won an Oscar. Yeah, take it easy on the Pepsi, Fuller. You have to share the hide bed with Fuller. If he has too much to drink, he'll wet the bed. A Minecraft movie less than a month. Yes, sir. Most anticipated of the year. Yikes. Infinity War, Endgame, and why do you like one less than the other? I take Infinity War over Endgame because I think they're both, it's one big movie to me, but when it boils down to it, Infinity War, it has the shocking ending, the villain wins. I think there's a great balance of our heroes sort of across the world, the galaxy in a sense for a bit there. The action's top notch. It's well paced. It's more rewatchable. That's why I give the edge to it. Early picks for 2025 Oscars. So movies that are coming out this year that could win next year. That's really tough. I don't know. No clue. I would say I would love to see Paul Thomas Anderson win director and win Best Picture, sight unseen, because I love PTA. And Leo's in that movie, so let's give Leo an Oscar. But you know what? I think Wicked for Good is going to have a great showing at the Oscars. I think it has a chance to win Best Picture, but something could come out of the dark. A lot of the movies that are going to get nominated, we haven't even heard of yet. That's how the Oscars usually work. Taco Boy Studios, welcome, welcome. Good to see you here as always. Gavin says, I finally watched Fellowship of the Ring last night and loved it. Should I manage my expectations for Two Towers? It really depends on who you ask. A lot of people say Two Towers is the best. A lot of people say it's the worst. It's my least favorite of the three, but it has and I'm not like, I'm saying this genuinely. Truly, I mean this. You could ask most people and they would agree. The Battle of Helm's Deep is the best battle ever put to film. It's the best cinematic battle of all time. No questions about it. None. So, take of that what you will. But I think you'll dig it. I think you'll dig it. Bullseye from Toy Story? Oh, man. Silly, I'm talking about Daredevil. No, I'm messing with you. That's great. There's a snake in my boot. Oh, man. Good old Bullseye. I always forget. You're right. The horse from Toy Story is Bullseye. Shoot. Where are we at in the chat here? Trying to find some new ones. If I go through the chat again, I won't be able to get to every question, unfortunately. I try to get to as many as I can. So Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get directly to your question, comment, or concern. And it's a big old fat way to help support the channel. Has your ranking of the seasons of Stranger Things changed from Little Run Shorts? Not necessarily. I think it's still, right now, it's probably still 2. I think they're all great, by the way. I don't think there's a bad season of the show, but I would go 2, and then I'd probably go 1, 4, 3. But I love all 4 seasons. Truly, I do. Favorite Bong Joon-ho movie? I will shout out Memories of Murder because I've seen that one, but I have to say Parasite, which is like the answer, I feel. It's the one that won all the Oscars. It's a phenomenal movie. I haven't seen a ton of Bong Joon-ho, though, if you want the truth. Like, I got a lot of work to do on that front. All right. Of course, we won't know till it releases, but I heard on Campy show him saying he knows multiple people who have seen Superman and said it's great. Yeah, again, that kind of goes back to the point earlier, like, I hope it's great, and that's awesome that, there are reports that it's great, but I don't really care, like, what anyone thinks just because I'm going to go see it and form my own opinion, but I do believe it will be very good. James Gunn in that comic book genre hasn't missed. That's the point I keep going back to. The Guardian trilogy, the Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, like the man's delivered consistently time and time again. And so I think we should be optimistic. But yeah, it's interesting for sure that there's conflicting reports behind the scenes about, what is the test screening word of mouth? Very fascinating, actually. All right. Thoughts on Chalamet? Yeah, Adam Sandler, great bit. Great bit. Funny guy. One of the most lovable dudes in Hollywood. Would you guys agree? All right. Let's see. Looking for some questions I have not answered here in the chat. Dahlia says, what kind of music do you like? I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to music. I listen to all sorts of different genres. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. I listen to classic rock, things from like the 80s, 70s. I listen to alternative music, a lot of pop music. I don't listen to country. I used to way back in the day. I'm pretty much anti-country music fully right now. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I really don't care for country music anymore. But to each their own. I was a huge country music fan growing up and in like middle school for a bit there, but I burnt out on it. So I don't really listen to it anymore. I listen to a lot of music scores for movies and when I'm like walking or trying to focus. So movie soundtracks as well, like, the Guardian soundtrack or Remember the Titans soundtrack. I also quite like Broadway musicals. I listen to those a good bit. And of course, I listen to the occasional rap. I'm not like that's not music I listen to all the time, but occasionally, I have some rap songs I like, but I've got all sorts of playlists. I kind of sprinkle around and shuffle it up depending on the mood. So yeah, all sorts of stuff. Right now, what do I listen to the most of? Probably, again, music scores, Wallows, Joe, and then honestly, a lot of like the pop girlies. You know what I'm talking about? Olivia Rodrigo, Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter, things like that. I love it all. Anyway, let's see. All right. Looking through the chat here again, trying to find some questions I have not answered yet because I've answered a good bit of these already. Sniper says, keep watch burn Oppenheimer, Infinity War, Endgame. You're setting me up to fail here. I think it's easy to just say keep and watch Infinity War and Endgame because they're like 1-2 punch. You got to see both of them and then just burn Oppenheimer. But I love Oppenheimer. It's 5 out of 5, obviously, to me. But that's the easy way to go because I would want to see the complete story that is Infinity War and Endgame. How was the Rage Room? It was quite fun. It got so hot in there. I was sweating profusely by the end. I think we had like a 15, 20-minute long session in there. And I mean, swinging a sledgehammer, a crowbar, throwing glass bottles at brick walls, like painting stuff up in like a jumpsuit with this like helmet on and everything. It got hot in there. I was sweating by the end pretty profusely. So that's nothing new for me. I sweat a lot when I have to do things like that, but it was quite fun. It was fun, honestly. Yeah, I'd never been to a Rage Room. I'd heard of them, didn't know what to expect going in. It was quite wild. Connor says, have you seen The Fugitive? I have seen The Fugitive. I have a review somewhere on my Letterboxd years ago now. You can go find that if you're interested in my thoughts, because I don't have fresh thoughts for you. That was probably almost 5 years ago when I watched it, 4 to 5 years ago. But I remember, what is it, Tommy Lee Jones line? They're like in like at the top of like some dam or something, and Harrison Ford's character is like, I didn't kill my wife. And Tommy Lee Jones is like, I don't care. Something like that, I remember. Very good movie, a great thriller from the 90s. We got Jason Cruz in the house. Shout out him. Gavin says, thoughts on the James Bond tribute at the Oscars? I honestly thought they were going to announce the next Bond on stage. That would have been sick. I thought it was all right, a bit random. And I was like, Margaret Qualley has this huge role in it. I was like, what is her association with Bond? It was a little bit weird, but didn't hate it, didn't hate it. It was just interesting. A bit out of left field for me. Taco Boy Studio says, how do I like my steak cooked? So I've changed over the course of my life. This answer has changed. It used to be when I was real young, I would do medium well and then medium for a while. But for years now, it's been medium rare. Yep. I like it medium rare. I think it tastes the best. Can't beat it if it's cooked. It's so delicious. Oof. Stranger Things fan 77 says, do you think they will ever release the season 5 teaser from the What's on Netflix event, or do you think that was an exclusive? After 2.5 years, we still don't have one official shot from season 5, just behind the scenes. We could definitely get that. I think that'll end up being a sort of exclusive What's on Netflix teaser, and they'll put something together for us. I honestly am getting optimistic about by the end of this month. I think, with Will Byers' birthday coming up March 22nd, canonically, I believe they could give us something then because they gave us something on March 22nd last year. We got the first look at Will Byers in character behind the scenes. So it'd be fitting to do that. That's only a couple weeks away. So I would imagine that date is circled on my calendar personally. I don't want to, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave us nothing though, because they could save it all for Tadum. But I do think they'll put together a teaser for one of those two dates, May 31st or March 22nd. Water break. Thank you. Delicious. Stranger Edit says, how would you rank the last 5 winners of Best Picture at the Oscars? Oppenheimer 1, Everything Ever All at Once 2. And that's where the list might stop for me. I never got around to Coda. I never got around to Anora. And what one before that? I don't even remember. Nomadland, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. Oppenheimer and Everything Ever All at Once supremacy, I guess. Okay. Dream Vacation. Really good one here. I'm a theme park guy, so I mean anything involving a theme park really is going to, tickle tickle me pink, I guess you could say, or tickle my fancy. I would say some sort of trip involving. I've always been curious about the the Disney parks overseas. So like I believe Tokyo Disney has like a really immersive theme park and a lot of like exclusive rides there. It's one of the parks overseas has like this really immersive Pirates of the Caribbean ride where you go like there's walls of screens, so it makes it seem like you're with the Flying Dutchman, with like Davy Jones and all. It's insanely immersive. I don't know which park that is, but I would love to do almost a tour of like the Disney parks around the world. That would be crazy, crazy expensive, but it would also be a really unforgettable experience. I don't know, probably something with a theme park would be my answer. I love them. I love them. It's a nice escape. Theme parks are my jam. All right, let's see. This question says, would you rather watch the whole of Cobra Kai or Stranger Things with season 5? I'm confused. I've seen all of Cobra Kai, so obviously I'd rather watch Stranger Things season 5. I mean, yeah, that's my most anticipated thing of the year. So I would take Stranger Things 5 over Cobra Kai. If you're asking if I could like never watch Cobra Kai again, I mean, I probably would still. I love Cobra Kai, but I would still say Stranger Things 5. I just got to see how it ends. Favorite Martin McDonagh movie? 3 Billboards, because I believe it's the only one I've seen. I haven't seen 7 Psychopaths. I haven't seen. What was he? In Bruges. That's Martin McDonagh, right? These are movies on my list, personal notes list in my app. I'm not making that up. They're all somewhere on there. And then, did he do The Men Who Stare at Goats, or was that just someone else? He did another movie that was fairly recent he did Banshees of Inisherin, didn't he? Yeah, he did. I watched that movie, so I've seen more than one. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri is my answer. Will I watch Peaky Blinders? I will. It won the poll. It's a movie that I plan to watch at some point. A show rather that I plan to watch at some point this year for sure. Never watched the OG Daredevil. Should I watch Born Again or go and watch the other seasons? Preston, my recommendation to you is to watch the other seasons. I think you would just appreciate Born Again that much more and understand the character dynamics, but more importantly, get to know Matt Murdock over 3 seasons. I think that's the most important thing. His relationship with Kingpin kind of at the forefront of Born Again, so it's really important to have that foundation. So definitely watch the original show, in my opinion, before watching this. Little Vern Schwartz says, favorite film and location you've been to? I assume we're talking Stranger Things here. My favorite Stranger Things film and location has to be, it might be Hopper's Cabin, honestly. It felt the most immersive out of them all because you were able to step into the show. The house, the cabin, it's designed in the interior as though you're in Stranger Things. So something special about that, it's real unique. Unlike a lot of the other ones that are sort of abandoned, this one has upkeep. It's also an escape room that you can partake in. So that's my go-to. That's my favorite, is the Hopper's Cabin. That was so cool. And there's footage of me there. It was in October. I did a film and location vlog, so be sure to check that out if you guys haven't. Again, I won't talk about some of the spoilers for Daredevil Born Again. I know they're in the chat, but I don't want to talk about them just yet on a stream without like giving anyone a heads up. But some crazy stuff happens for sure. All right. Where are we at? Okay. Where are we at? Oh, I've never seen Sons of Anarchy. Never seen it. It's been recommended to me many a time by different people, but I've never seen it. I think I know one spoiler though. It's just like, how there's shows out there that you've seen a clip or you've heard something or seen a picture from. I think I know a spoiler of a character death, but other than that, I think I'm in the clear if I ever decide to watch it. So I don't know when it happens. I don't know how it happens, but I'm in the clear. Yeah, I need to watch The Sandlot this 4th of July, dude. I need to. It's a movie I need to fully watch. I've only seen parts of it over my life. Never fully committed to it. I got to at some point. It's a must. We got a super chat from Carissa again. Thank you, Carissa. Top 5 favorite character castings. Great question. So I guess like best casting, right? Straight up, that's the question. I think number 1 probably has to be Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Just one of the great castings of our time. He embodies Tony Stark. That's number 1 for me. Another I would probably say is Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. I just think unforgettable, fully embodies the character, and is just instantly recognizable and iconic. Another I would say probably Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. Again, iconic, instantly recognizable, and just so quotable. You think Harrison Ford, you think Indiana Jones. Over Han Solo even, I believe, at least. So those are 3. Trying to like stay out of the comic book genre, but it's so easy to go the comic book genre route. You could argue Daredevil, Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. I mean, fantastic. And especially after Born Again, he cements himself. I wouldn't say that's like all time for me. One second, I'm going to take a sip of water as there's a loud noise. But I would say, sorry, there was a train. I would say you could argue it. We might have an indie cameo.
He was crying for you.
Okay. Hey, buddy. I'm on a stream.
He was crying.
Look at him. Do you want to see the people? He's like, what's going on with all this stuff on the screen? That's my baby boy right here. He's getting so big. He said, hi, everybody. He's getting camera shy. He's so silly.
This is the sweetest.
I love to talk like I'm talking to a baby. Oh, he's on the move.
He said, I'm free.
I love that cat. My baby boy, Indy. Yeah, so where was that? Shoot. Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. I will then go with, you know what? I will say Christopher Lloyd is Doc Brown, and then I'm going to end with, that's tough. I don't know. Heath Ledger is the Joker. There you go. We got another super chat saying, what's your favorite show all time, and have you seen White Lotus? I have not seen The White Lotus. I've seen clips. I know Walton Goggins is in the new season. Walton Goggins is the man. I think he might have the most impressive television filmography of anyone. He's got comedy shows, drama roles, voice acting. He's the man. Walton Goggins and TV equals a match made in heaven. So that's intrigued me. I think White Lotus is also an anthology series, but I have never seen the other seasons. I remember like the memes and the TikTok videos that arose around the season 2 time period, but I've never actually watched The White Lotus. In terms of my favorite show of all time, Stranger Things. That's no surprise. It's the comfort show for me. I love it deeply. It is my favorite show of all time. But there's a lot of others up there too. That's the hard thing about picking favorites. There's some that are right there with it. So Stranger Things is just, it's special to me. Truly is. Sully's in the house. Shout out Sully. Says, love The Faculty. That's one that my buddy Starcourt has been trying to get me to watch for a hot minute now. So I think my buddy Andy also, he said you got to watch The Faculty. So I got to get around to that one by the year's end. Gavin says, what trailer do you think we get first? Stranger Things 5 or GTA 6? Stranger Things 5. I don't know when GTA 6 is set to come out. Is it supposed to come out this year or next year? But didn't we technically already get a trailer for it too? Or am I tripping? Either way, like a full trailer, I'd say like a teaser, whatever. I think Stranger Things 5. They got something coming soon, I would guess. I've never been to Cedar Point. This is the theme park. Is it in Ohio? It's somewhere up there, up north. Never been. I'm doing good. Welcome. I don't know. I've been asked this question a few times. I can't decide if I'm going to see it or not. Mohammed says, who would you personally want to have won for best actor at the Oscars? I would have picked, Sebastian Stan. Would have been awesome to see him win. I just think he's the man. So Sebastian Stan. Am I an extrovert or an introvert? Just depends on the day. Most times I like to, I can't, it's easier to have someone else answer this question. Like Cam could answer this question better than me because she knows me really, really well. I think a lot of times I like to just keep to myself though. Like I don't know. But if I'm in a social mood, I can chat it up, no problem. But a lot of times I think I don't know, I get anxious sometimes about speaking, but you know, I would say introvert with some extrovert tendencies, but it's hard to say. Like my battery can drain if I've you know talked, if I've reached my talking limit for the day. I can just get really tired and not want to speak at all. So I think I lean introvert more than anything. I'm not like looking to chat it up 24/7 if I'm out in public, like talking to strangers or anything, you know, but I can talk too. So it just depends on the mood, really. I wouldn't say I'm like 100% one or the other. I wouldn't say that, but Cam would have a better answer, to be honest with you. I'll do this later. I'm going to wait until Born Again is fully out to rank all the seasons of Daredevil. Marvin says, have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky, Friday the 13th? I've seen the first of every single horror franchise you just listed. So I have seen the first Nightmare, first Chucky, Child's Play it's called, and the first Friday the 13th. If I had to rank them off my memories, I watched all of them in like 2020 or 2021. If I had to rank them, the worst by far to me is the first Friday the 13th. The movie's a snooze fest. I was like bored to tears watching it. So that one's the worst to me. And then I would say between the other two, it's like, I don't know. I was really not that impressed with either. Which one's more iconic? I think Nightmare on Elm Street. So I'd put that at one, Chucky or Child's Play rather, right in the middle. Just a bit too ridiculously cheesy. But yeah, I want to give some of those movies a chance again and maybe watch some more down the line. But I'm not a massive horror fan, as you guys know. I dabble here and there, dip my toe in the horror waters, but I'm not like a diehard horror fan by any means. But you guys knew that. You guys knew that already. Alex says, are you excited for Finn Wolfhard's new horror film? Yeah, I'm intrigued. Finn Wolfhard, I believe, co-directing, directorial debut, I want to say. So hell yeah to that. Real quick, I see we have 66 people in here. Hit the like button. There you go. Helps out. Boom. And if you're here on the replay as well, do it. Stranger Things fan says, do you think the Steve/Dustin duo has started to run its course? They're great together, but I'd rather he spend quality time with his original friend group than Steve for the 4th straight season. Well, based on all the behind-the-scenes photos we've seen, it looks like he's not going to be with the OG gang the whole time. It looks like he's going to be with Steve, Jonathan, and Nancy. I would love to see sort of a healthy balance of both. Obviously, I want to see the 4 main kids together for a chunk of the season. But if they have to go their separate ways for a couple episodes, I would love to see him with Steve. Give us a nice balance of both for the final season, because the last time we're going to get to see any of that. So let's have a nice little balance. Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy. Avaria, apologies if I mispronounce your name, says, do you think 2026 will be a better year for Marvel than this year, 2025? It's so tough. You know, we're getting season 2 of Daredevil Born Again and season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and we had season 1s of both of those this year, so those kind of cancel each other out in my mind. We're getting a Punisher special, which I say hell yes to. This is next year, we're getting X-Men 97 season 2, which I'm probably going to start X-Men 97 this month. That's my goal, personally. Now I've made it public, so now there's a pressure to do it. But I do hope to watch X-Men 97. Anyway, movie-wise, I think if Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four hit, it's definitely going to beat next year, because next year, movie-wise, actually, hold up. I keep forgetting 2026 is next year. It's not real to me yet. We're getting a Spider-Man movie next year. We're getting an Avengers movie next year. I don't know. Those two obviously are probably going to be better than Brave New World. Are they going to top Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts? It's very possible 2026 is a better year for Marvel. Very possible, especially if you look at the shows coming out this year. Say Ironheart's say some of those like Marvel Zombies, Eyes of Wakanda, so they're kind of forgettable. Well, they've trimmed the fat, and next year we're getting season 2s of established shows. X-Men 97, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and Daredevil, and then a Punisher special. Like all of those, you got to be fairly confident in if they're going the season 2 route now. So, I don't know. There's a world where 2026 is significantly better now that I think about it. It all depends on if the Avengers movie's good or not, because Spider-Man's going to be good. They haven't missed with a Spider-Man movie in the MCU. I have no worries about that, but, the Avengers, that's big, guys. Big one. Have I seen Dexter? No, but it's a show that I've been requested to watch many a time. Indy did make his cameo. Gotta love him. Do I think Born Again is better than the OG series? I don't want to say too much, but I don't. They're just different. They're just different. I think any show that comes back, it's not going to be quite as good because it's not the same as the original. But I think that in its own way, this show is still very, very good TV. And it's like almost like just on par with it. Like, I don't think like one is like blowing the other out of the water necessarily. Yeah, so that's kind of my vague answer. I'll say more when I rank them all down the line. Okay. Varia says Stranger Things 5, Daredevil, Born Again, and Andor will be the top 3 shows of the year. Very good chance, honestly. I'm very excited for Andor and, of course, Stranger Things. Let's see. Again, I'm trying to answer as many of these questions as possible, so apologies if I don't get to your question. Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to it. It's just, it pops up. It's also a huge way to help support the channel. Gavin says, do you think River Phoenix had the potential to be one of the greats? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it. His performance in Stand By Me, the brief glimpse we have of him as Indy in the beginning of, Last Crusade, some of his later work. I believe he's in the movie, what is it called? My Own Private Idaho, Gus Van Sant, I want to say, directed, who also did Good Will Hunting. I could be way off base with all that information, but I never saw that movie, but I know he has some really fantastic performances out there that I haven't seen. Yeah, River Phoenix was special, really. He had it. And, Joaquin does too. They're brothers. And so I could definitely have seen River Phoenix if he was still alive today. Probably multiple Oscar wins. At least one Oscar win by now. But yeah, he would be one of the greats, really. I do believe that. Hiram says, what are your favorite shots in movies? There's so many that come to mind, but one that stands out right now, 2 of them. The shot in Raiders when they're about to enter the Well of Souls and like the sun is setting and it's just silhouettes on the hillside with the sun. Beautiful. The binary sunset from Star Wars, beautiful. If we're talking, pretty much most shots from a Nolan movie. I don't know. There's so many great shots in pretty much every single movie. If it's a great movie that I love, like a 5 out of 5, it's got like 1 or 2 standout shots where I'm like, oh, they cooked. Yeah, there's that shot in Back to the Future when like the DeLorean goes 88 for the first time and like Doc Brown and Marty turn around and like the fire is lighting up their face and the tire tracks are there. Like there's so many iconic shots like that I just love. Any anticipation for GTA 6? Somewhat. I haven't played GTA in like 5 years, almost on the dot. I was playing during the pandemic with some friends, like the heists, GTA 5, but I haven't played really since then. It was a fun time, but it's like, it was a moment in time. Probably won't go back to that. I need a water break. Rosie says, do you have any major theories on Stranger Things Season 5? If so, what are they? I'm super excited for it. Well, I appreciate the support, Rosie. I don't know. I've kind of said a bunch of them, like major theories for Season 5. It's tough because they're, like I've said, I've covered so many major theories out there. No, I don't like off the top of my head without like writing them out and thinking on it. It's tough to think of this on the spot. Major theory. I don't think it's going to happen, but you could argue it's not even a theory. I've said it a million times now, but I think that Joseph Quinn will show up. I don't think Eddie's alive, but I would almost put money on it that Joseph Quinn will show up. It could be in a flashback or a vision. You watch El Camino, Walter White's in it. You can't do, it's like that. I think that, a character with that notoriety, the popularity that he garnered, I think that Joseph Quinn as Eddie Munson will show up very briefly in a flashback or vision. That's a theory I have. It's not anything major. I have like obviously other major ones I've covered in videos, but on the spot, that's the one that comes to mind. Spider-Man 4, Daredevil Born Again Season 2, or Avengers Doomsday? Which one am I most excited for? Wow. I really am always looking forward to a new Spider-Man movie. You guys know this. Daredevil Born Again Season 2, I have high hopes for, but I was fed with Season 1, so I think I lean Spider-Man 4. Like I'm fiending for some more Spidey on the big screen. I need it. Do I like The Shining? Here's Johnny. Yeah, great movie. I rarely revisit that one, but I've seen it once or twice in my life, and it's one that I just don't ever have the desire to go back to anytime soon, really. But it's a classic horror flick for a reason. Lucy says, Fantastic Four will sweep Superman. Just wait and see. We'll see. yeah, I mean, I've predicted that I think Fantastic Four makes more money, but we'll see. I mean, there's no telling. I think Jurassic beats them both, which is I've recently found out that people are like, no way, Jurassic, what? I'm like, it's Jurassic, guys. What are we doing? All right, I did it. Okay. Do I think they'll bring JJ back in season 5 of Outer Banks? No. I think the actor wants to move on. I think that's that. I don't think there's any possibility of this character returning in like a scene, even or a flashback. I think that there was some not bad blood, but some drama behind the scenes that that ship has sailed. They're done. They've gone their separate ways forever. I think that JJ is no more. Shocking, yes. Sad, yes. But that's the way of the world, and we just got to move on. Jack Black for Best Actor. Could you imagine? Maybe Best Actor at the Razzies, right? That's what they call it. Like is that what's called the Razzie Awards or something? Like the worst movies of the year. Okay. Rosie says, have you seen the Percy Jackson show? If so, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I quite liked it. It was very enjoyable to me. It had that sense of adventure of, say, a Sorcerer's Stone, or I guess Philosopher's Stone to some of you watching. Yeah, it was the start of, a journey on Disney Plus with those characters in that world, and I'm ready for the new season to play around with it. It'll be fun. See what they got cooked up for us. Rank every Marvel Disney Plus show you've seen on the spot. I can't do that on the spot. That's difficult. I would say my favorites. I'll give you like 3 of my favorites in no order. Daredevil, Born Again, Loki, both seasons, and I quite like The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. How many DVDs do I have? No idea. There was a point in time where I like had this number in my notes, and I was like, oh, I know exactly how many movies I own, the amount of like cases I own, and the discs, like for the movies, right? Couldn't tell you now. You'd have to go watch my Blu-ray collection, and even then, I've bought in a good bit since then because I found this really cool like used Blu-ray store around here, and I got a bunch of stuff back in I think January or very beginning of February. And so next Blu-ray collection video next year, there's going to be some new goodies in there. Starcourt says, it wouldn't surprise me if Alien Earth comes out of nowhere and absolutely shocks everybody. Yeah, that's like a low-key under the radar type show, and I'm looking forward to it. If they don't have a release date, that's the thing about Hulu. They'll drop a release date like a month in advance. It's a lot of streaming services do that. They're like, yeah, this show, it's coming out in the summer. And then it'll be like 2 weeks out, and they'll be like, all right, it's coming out on May 14th. And it's like May 1st. The Bear does that. Like, I swear, they cut it close every time. But yeah, I mean, we've seen barely nothing from this, but I'm intrigued. It's new Alien media. Bring it on. I forget where it takes place in the timeline. I think it's right. Like, I'd have to look again, but it's like damn near 2 years before or after the OG Alien. I think right before. I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it definitely, and I think it could rule. I hope it comes out like May through July. Just give us I want all the shows in the summer. I want a show a day. All right, I love that. Even though I prefer binge, with the summertime you do have movies, and so those are like weekly events as well. So I binge it all at once. I don't care what they do. Frozen Wish Studios in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Are you still going to do reactions to Daredevil Born Again? The answer is no. I made the decision. I wrestled with it, but I decided not to react to Daredevil Born Again. I think I made the right decision for myself at this time. Yeah, just wasn't the direction I wanted to go with it, and so I just watched them independently of a reaction video. So yeah, no reactions for Born Again. Let's see. Stranger Things. You guys know this, though. Love me some Cobra Kai. Is there a saw trap you think you could escape from Gavin? Ooh, really good one. You know what? I'd have to think on all the traps, but there's definitely one I could get out of. I just have to really think on it. If I could endure an amount of pain, I think that I would be willing to do it. But would I want to saw? I don't know if I'd want to saw one of my body parts off. You know what? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know off the top of my head. No, I don't know. A lot of those just get so gruesome later on. And yeah, I don't know. That's a difficult one. To imagine waking up in a saw trap. I mean, that would be the most horrifying thing maybe ever. Maybe ever. Let's see. I got a Johnny Storm shirt for Disney. Hell yeah. There you go. Faculty has a Final Destination vibe. Same time period. I think you'll dig it. Yeah, I definitely am interested in this in the Faculty. Everyone talks about it. Seems like it could be the move. You should make Severance videos. I am honestly just enjoying Severance. Like, I'm enjoying the show enough to like not talk about it anywhere. The thing about Severance is like there are theories galore online and people really reading into it. And I see them on TikTok and I'm like, oh, cool. And I scroll, but I don't think I want to make Severance into a show, at least right now, that I want to really theorize the hell out of, because I feel like theorizing a lot with certain shows can lead to disappointment. Obviously, I don't think that'll be the case with Stranger Things. I'm so well versed in it. I feel like I have a general direction of where they're headed. But with Severance, it's like everything is being hyper analyzed and theorized on. And there's like millions of theories online, not really millions, but you know what I mean. And so it's, I don't want it to ruin it, I guess. I'm enjoying talking about it and predicting things with like Cam, who I'm watching the show with. But I'm not really, I don't know if I want to make content on it, you know? I may do a video at the end of season 2. We'll see how I'm feeling, but I'm enjoying Severance quite a bit. I really am. Favorite type of salad? I like just a good old-fashioned like house salad with blue cheese. I know I probably just alienated a lot of you guys. They're like, blue cheese? Yeah, I said it. Blue cheese. I'm a blue cheese guy. I also go ranch, though. It depends on my mood. Caesar salad hits as well, though. I mean, any salad, really. I'm probably going to vibe with it. What is the biggest Oscar snub in your opinion? So of all time or just this year? It's I would say in recent memory, shoot. 2018 comes to mind. I think that A Star is Born was completely robbed, snubbed of multiple wins and even some nominations. I think it should have won picture, actor, actress, director. I mean, I thought it was fantastic, but you know, Rami Malek won over Bradley Cooper. That astounds me. I don't understand that. Don't get it. Do not understand it. All right. What's the worst Saw movie? Ooh, I've always been like anti-Jigsaw. Couldn't stand that one. Saw 7 or Saw the Final Chapter, whatever you want to call it. Not crazy about that one either. I think Saw 3D is another name for it. Yikes. One of those two, probably the worst. Saw 5, I wasn't a fan of either. There's a lot of bad Saw movies, though. It's not surprising to say that. Hello says, or hello to hello. Would you ever do a video ranking season finales? I'd eat that up, especially a Cobra Kai or Stranger Things one. Yeah, I'd be interested in doing that like in short form, you know, like a Stranger Things season finales ranked, a Cobra Kai season finales ranked. It'd definitely be fun. It's a good idea. Very good idea. I've done it with, I think, Stranger Things 4 back in the day. I might have gotten into that, but yeah. The pink blood ruins Saw 3D. Favorite song at the moment. So at this very moment in time, the pressure's on. Let me open my Spotify and see what I've been listening to lately. Because this is not like this doesn't tie me down forever. It's just what's my favorite song right now that I've been listening to a bunch. You want the truth, like the genuine truth. It's Escape / Chase / Saying Goodbye from the ET score. It's 15 minutes almost. I listen to it on my walks. That's like, that's one of my answers. No, recently though, Joe did a cover of Gasoline and I found like a version of it on Spotify. Someone like recorded from YouTube. That's been on my playlist. And then I'm going to play this for 2 seconds so I don't get copyrighted, but this song rules. You guys already know. Anyway, all right. Opinion on the Goofy movie. I genuinely don't know if I've seen this. Like it's one of those movies where, you know, I watch part of it on Disney Channel as a child and I have like memories of shots, but I couldn't tell you a damn thing about it. So I don't think I've ever actually seen it. And if I have, I don't remember. Okay. Gab says, I will always defend Saw 3D. It's terrible and hilarious at the same time. Yeah. the lead singer of Linkin Park is in this movie in one of the traps, and it's one of the most disgusting traps. I'll just tell you, he's like sewed to like a car chair, like the driver's seat, and his back is like sewed to it. It's disturbing. Okay. We need Succession videos on the channel. That show is too good to not be talked about. The show rules. Yeah, I would love to discuss further, but I feel like there's no. I mean, Succession's ended for 2 years now, right? I mean, I just don't know what I would post about it, but I loved the show. There are also just some shows where it's like I'm good just enjoying on my own time without making videos about it. Ben says, sorry I missed your thoughts on the Fear Street franchise. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I will be watching potentially before the new one comes out. What is your dream cast for Tarantino's final movie? I've talked about this before. I think 1,000,000% we got to get Leo in there, okay? Got to have Leo in there. Got to have Samuel L. Jackson in there. And, those two I think are musts. Samuel L. Jackson especially. He's been in so many of Tarantino's films over the years. It'd be a shame to leave him out. It could be a 10-minute role. And Tarantino's casts are usually huge, so you can get some big names, and people are going to do it. I also want Brad Pitt. I know that's basic. I don't care. I would love to get him to work with someone for the first time. I think Tom Cruise, if you can't get those two I just named, like Tom Cruise being the lead of a Tarantino movie would be phenomenal. Just to see Tom Cruise, go back to like the 90s, 80s of him doing more prestige films. Like I think Magnolia obviously was in the 90s. He was nominated for an Oscar there. He's a fantastic actor. He's become the action guy, but like, let's see him do some real deal stuff again in terms of acting chops. That Tom Cruise might be the answer. Actually, that would be fantastic. I would also really like to see some like the newer generation of actors. I know that a lot of them were already in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood before they became really big names, but I'd say, let's get some like, get like people from TV shows that I love. That would be my answer. Like I would like to see Iowa Debris from Bear in there. I think it'd be cool to get, who'd be great in a Tarantino movie? John Turturro, who plays Irving in Severance, would be fantastic in a Tarantino movie. I think you could totally snag like a Kieran Culkin type to play some creepy dude. Like, I think they could do it. I think they could get a bunch of big names for the final movie. So yeah, I mean, whatever he goes with, I'm there. Jennifer Lawrence, I don't think never worked with Tarantino. That'd be sick. So get every big name. Let's do it. Let's run it. How would I feel about the Ted Lasso series returning for season 4? Well, aren't they supposed to be landed? I think there was a report that like they're getting it, which I'm like on the fence about because I thought it ended so perfectly. Like I had my issues with season 3 of Ted Lasso, but it ended on such a high note for me that I was like, damn, like I don't want them. Like I think they've closed the door on this. They opened the door for like spinoffs, but if Ted returns, that's where I'm like, what was the point of it all being the end then? So I would obviously want to explore more of that world with those characters just because they're such lovable characters. Roy Kent, Jamie Tart. I want to see more of them, but I don't know if Ted needs to be in it, but I feel like he's the backbone of the show. So you got to have him maybe. Starcourt says favorite Spider-Man 3 line. So many to choose from. You want forgiveness? Get religion. That's got to be up there. See you, chump. You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door. I think someone put that in the chat. That's one of them for sure. Ooh, that's so tough, guys. Good riddance. I mean, what else? There's so many from just, it could be when Eddie Brock's like at the church and he's like, God, I want you to kill Peter Parker. Like it could be any of these lines. It's such a quotable movie. Absolutely ridiculous. Avaria says, how good do you think Snow White will be compared to Captain America Brave New World? Such vastly different movies. I think that Snow White probably less of a mess in terms of, I know like people felt Brave New World was super messy. Well, I feel like this movie shouldn't be messy. It should flow together pretty well. So maybe if the songs are hitting Snow White, the visuals of Snow White might not be there. I don't know. So different. I never got around to the substance. My girlfriend has watched Abbott Elementary. I've only seen one episode. It was the Always Sunny crossover. Emma Hope Says, hey, Chris, any chance you could give a shout out to my boyfriend, Patty? Shout out to Patty. We're big fans. Well, thank you. P.S. We really wish Hawkins High was made into a museum. Yeah, same. I wish they had like preserved it and made it into like a walk-through museum, step into Hawkins, sort of like part of the Stranger Things location tour. I think it would be really sick. But I believe there was something wrong with the foundation of the building, or there was maybe mold or something like that involved. So they had to, the structural integrity was at risk or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I would have loved for it to have been preserved forever. Maybe one day they can build it back up. Who's to say? An exact like replica of the building. I doubt they'll do that, but you never know. Yeah, you get your rent when you fix this damn door. Gotta be one of the best. Will Brave New World age well over time, especially after we get Doomsday and Secret Wars? It could, especially if we know the direction it's headed. Like what the post-credit scene was actually setting up. That'd be pretty cool. Logan Roy reminds you of Fletcher from Whiplash. I can see it. Definitely. Especially with the language, right? I'm not terribly excited for Shrek 5 because I've never seen Shrek 3 and 4, so it's like, eh. Chalamet, Sadie Sink, the two leads in Tarantino movie, that would be nuts. The younger generation, I could see it. That'd be cool. Shoot. Are we talking about Avengers? I think there's a lot of really cool concepts that won't make it into the movie, but whatever they do end up putting in the movie from the concept art, sign me the hell up. I'm here for it, especially if they make it like a medieval type movie. Oof. Gavin says Adam Sandler needs to be in his last because he was supposed to be in Bastards. Adam Sandler in a Tarantino movie? Bring it. Sort of a dramatic role for him. He's done that in Uncut Gems. He's done it in Punch Drunk Love. I'm here for that. I am so here for that. Ooh, Sniper. I saw your comment. No comment. Hey, Chris, if you haven't reacted to Goonies yet, can you please react to our channel? Well, I've seen Goonies, so I can't react to Goonies. I've already seen it. It would be a fake reaction. Jonathan says, Yellow Jackets is really good. I started watching this week. Yeah, I've never seen that. My friend Starcourt said he might be checking it out soon, but I've heard, I don't really know what the hell Yellow Jackets is even about, to be honest with you. Like, no idea what it's about, really, except I know like one sentence or two, I believe, about like it's apparently a soccer team or something goes missing on a trip, maybe something like that. I don't know. Which incoming actors and actresses do you think will make up the next A-list? Timothy Chalamet, Austin Butler, Sydney Sweeney, Mikey Madison, Sadie Sink, I believe, will be on that list. I would like to believe Joseph Quinn would be on that list. I would also like to believe that, yeah, I mean, those names I just rattled off are all like up and coming, hitting stride right now. I think they're all really going to be names to remember. And yeah, I'd say that all those and more, frankly. Kieran Culkin in a Tarantino movie would be sick. Bragan, am I saying that correctly? Apologies if not. What movies are you looking forward to in 2026? I'll rattle off a few. Spielberg's next movie, The Odyssey, Spider-Man 4. I believe we're getting Avengers Doomsday is coming out. What else? Beyond the Spider-Verse is not set in stone. We're getting Supergirl from DC. What are we getting animated wise? Toy Story 5, Shrek 5, Those that I just rattled off as of right now are probably the ones I'm the most excited for. I could definitely be forgetting some. I was going to say the Batman, and then guess what? I was like, oh, wait, that's 2027. What? Ooh, yeah, Starcourt says Scream 7. Great point. Scream 7 will be on that list for me. I would say it. Who's your favorite Cobra Kai teen, Miguel? Miguel Diaz, the man. Our generation's Karate Kid. What are my thoughts on the new Andor season? Bring it on. I'm ready. I need it now. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I watched the behind-the-scenes little thing they posted today, like the BTS teaser special feature thing. Got me pumped. Carson, I never watched Andor, but it's still on my watch list. I'll get around to it eventually. I'm going to finish The Color Purple here soon. I'm about to wrap up the stream. My ears are all messed up. I don't know if you guys if you have joined midway and you're like, what noise was that? I'm under the weather, so my nose is stopped up. That's why I haven't posted a lot this week. I feel sick, and I am probably frankly sick. So just trying to fight it. I need to rest. Though. But we'll probably go for a few more minutes. So fire off your last minute questions. Let's see. what I think will happen in season 5. I think we'll finally figure out all the answers behind the Upside Down. All will be revealed. That would be a cool tagline. Favorite Cobra Kai season, I have a video on, but I believe my favorite season is season 4. After I finish the Lord of the Rings trilogy, should I watch the Hobbit trilogy or Rings of Power? Are they worth my attention? I think the Hobbit movies are. They're definitely not as good as Lord of the Rings, but I still enjoy them. If you like the world by the end of the trilogy, you're like, I want more from this world, and you know it's a prequel trilogy, give it a go. I think the third one is the worst, but the first 2 I think are actually pretty good. That's my opinion. I haven't seen them in years, probably 8 years plus, but you know, definitely give them a go. I'd say give them a go. Yeah. Definitely thinking of attending Atlanta Comic-Con in July. Other than that, I don't have any immediately on the radar. My voice, I'm telling you, it's going. It's going right now. Yeah. So I'll probably take like 2 more and wrap it up just because my voice is starting to go. Let's see. I see him piling in. Favorite sport? College football is my favorite sport to watch. Who Would Die in Stranger Things 5? I think 11. Sadly. Have I checked out Pixar's Win or Lose? I haven't. I got asked this last week. I haven't checked it out yet. Totally forgot it even was coming out, honestly. Cautiously optimistic about Scream 7. Me too. I've heard some good things. From people saying they have something cooking, but what is that really based in, But apparently they could be using some cool new technology, which I'm here for. And then the final one, underrated character in... actually, have you seen the Elite Designer Center yet? I don't think I have. I saw a Funko Pop. I don't know if that counts. Little Vern Schwartz says underrated character in Stranger Things. Murray, the Bald Eagle Bauman, baby. But that's going to do it for this stream. I'm going to go drink some more water and rest up. That was a fun one, though. Went for about an hour 15. So I appreciate you guys if you were in here live or on the replay. Thank you so much. If you sent a super chat, if you watched, if you liked, if you commented, any of that, if you just watched quietly, thank you for being here. It does mean a lot. But I'm going to go. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to finish up this Spielberg movie I'm watching and continue that journey. So follow me on Letterboxd at Filmstock if you're not already. But that'll do it. Another stream in the books. We are making our way through March, and then it's on to almost summer movie season. I'm very excited about that. But I appreciate you guys for being here as always. Everyone have a great night, and I will see you in the next stream, short video, whatever it may be. Peace.